Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NFL showdown picks for tonight, the Packers against the Cardinals. We have a crazy one because the Packers are going to be without their top two receivers, maybe their top three if Valdez-Scantling can't play today. So we'll have a lot to discuss, so let's get started. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it if you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out Prize Picks, and if you wanted to get some free money to try out them, you can use my promo code PROCESS. When you make your first deposit, they'll match it up to $100. Follow me on Twitter. You can check out the website. That stuff is in the description. And let's get started. So, right now on this showdown slate, I'm definitely going to be wanting to get Kyler Murray into my lineup, get Aaron Rodgers into my lineup, and then Aaron Jones into my lineup. Those are three keys that I will have in my build here. But for the other guys, there's no Adams today. He didn't travel with the team. There's no Alan Lazard. He's out for COVID as well. And Valdez-Scantling is questionable game time decision. He's traveling, which is a good sign, but he's dealing with a hamstring. So I don't know, even if he does play and he is active, if he's out there for most of the work, he might just be out there for 50 or 60% of the snaps. We'll see. But right now, you're going to be looking at St. Brown as one of the primary targets. He only has one catch for 0 yards on the season, but we have seen him make an impact last year a little bit. You're going to see Randall Cobb also be a big factor in the passing game. He's $3,600, and then Armani Rogers would be the third guy at $400 to be utilized in 3 wide receiver sets if there's no Valdez-Scantling, or if he does play, then he'll be like in the 4th wide receiver sets. So also still in play at $400, but I like St. Brown a little bit more than him. And then I think Randall Cobb is probably one of the safer options compared to Valdez-Scantling because dealing with an injury, hamstring, don't know. I would expect Cobb to be out there almost every single down. If you want it to be a little bit different, I think A.J. Dillon also looks a lot better today because I could see the Packers using more 2 running back sets, not having their top weapons on the outside. Use 2 running back sets. Both Dillon can catch the football out of the backfield. So he might be looking at some extra touches today. And he could also get you 5 or 6 carries on the ground. Mercedes Lewis looks fine. They're going to need all the help they can get catching the ball. So he would be in your player pool. But personally, I think getting up to Robert Tonyan makes some sense as well. He's 46, so he's still affordable. This is like a spot where he should have a huge game. If Rodgers wants to kind of just zone in on him to throw the football, would not be surprised. He's been very disappointing this year, minus last week, and I think minus week 1 or week 2. He had a good game against Detroit. But should be getting a lot more red zone looks here without Devontae Adams, who was just getting like 35% of the targets and a ton of the red zone looks, even though he only has like a couple touchdowns on the season. But Tonyan, 2 touchdowns on the season out of 15 catches. Should be looking at a lot more targets and a lot more chances today. So at a good price tag, I'm willing to take a shot on him. Both kickers, I'd say, are in play. Prater and Crosby, both teams can move the football, and both kickers have had some good games this year. So I wouldn't leave any kicker out or either one of those kickers out of your build, especially with Prater being able to kick 60-plus yarders. They let him kick a 62-yarder, which he made, and then Crosby also can kick 50-plus yarders. So the conditions will be good. I'm assuming they're going to be playing in the dome, and both kickers give you that upside for 15-plus fantasy points, which is always important. So maybe look at both of the kickers, or at least one of the kickers, to get into your lineup if you make a bunch. Rondale Moore is okay, but I probably like Tonyan more than him. Getting into the 6K and above range, I like Zach Ertz. He had a great reception for a touchdown that he took like 40-plus yards in his debut as a Cardinal. They will be looking at Ertz's way decent amount. He got 5 targets. He was fine out there. He will be utilized in some goal line work, even though with Hopkins and all these other guys, just with the size out there. The Ertz is a fine option. AJ Green is $6,800. Also a good at play. They're all kind of similarly priced. Ertz, AJ Green, Edmonds, Kirk, all in that $6,200 to $7,200 range. I probably like Chris Kirk the most, followed by Edmonds, followed by Ertz, then AJ Green. Kirk is $7,200. He gives you that big play upside. Also has 4 touchdowns on the season, including back-to-back weeks. On the field a ton. Him and Hopkins lined up across from each other. I like Kirk's price tag at 72. And Connor 78. He's fine as well, but I probably like getting to a guy that can catch the football a little bit more. Like Connor, he's going to kill you if he has 2 touchdowns. If he just has 1 touchdown or 0 touchdowns, I don't think he's going to really make much of an impact because he's 78, whereas like Edmonds is 7,000, but he's going to get you a lot of work out of the backfield with the targets and potentially could have a touchdown receiving and still get you 10 plus carries on the ground. So I would lean Edmonds over James Conner. But Aaron Jones is going to be one of the best plays on the slate just because he's going to get so much work in almost all the goal line work. Going to get some goal line targets as well. And he's probably looking at 20 plus touches. I think they're going to want to get the ball in Aaron Jones' hands early and often. And then Hopkins also starting to produce the last few weeks. He's questionable, but he looks like he's going to play, even though he didn't practice this week. Starting to be utilized a lot more in the red zone. He's up to 7 touchdowns on the season. He still has not had a 10-plus target game, but the Packers secondaries is still dealing with injuries. No Jair Alexander, so Hopkins should be able to kind of do and get wherever he wants on the field. And then you're going to want to get to both quarterbacks. Some showdowns you only want to get to one quarterback, or you can fade the quarterbacks. But when you have Kyler Murray and Rodgers scoring off against each other, you expect it to be a bit of a shootout, and both quarterbacks would not be surprised if they put up north of 20. Even without Devontae Adams, I think Rodgers will still have a very good game. So looking at the builds here, you can go a couple of ways at captain. Wanted to go up to like Aaron Jones, I like at the 13.5. Plug in Kyler Murray, plug in Aaron Rodgers. Now you have 43.36, so still plenty to work with. If you go with St. Brown at $600, you're going to be able to get to like Hopkins as well. Now you have $1,900. You can plug in A.J. Dillon and save $500 on the table. It's a 4-2 stack here. Kyler Murray paired with Hopkins to kind of be the highlight of the Arizona side. I don't think I need to go to the defenses in this one, just with so much other value with the wide receivers that are so cheap and with the kickers that gave you some upside there. But let's see if we go Robert Tonyan here. Go down from Hopkins, $7,900. We can go with like Chase Edmonds here. And then maybe we can upgrade from St. Brown up to A.J. Dillon if you wanted to do that. Still a 4-2 stack, but you get Chase Edmonds and Kyler Murray there. Hopefully maybe some of the touchdowns go with Edmonds and then Kyler Murray runs in for 1 or 2. Or you can go with $44,000 plus. Maybe you want to plug in like Prater's 42 already, Tanyan's 46. So I'd probably still like to go to the receivers in that, with the kickers being both over 4K. Maybe like the getting to Tanyan a little bit more. But let's see if we change the captain a little bit. Go Kyler Murray at captain instead. Still get to Aaron Jones. And now we can kind of go with some of the cheaper receivers like St. Brown. At $600. Upgrade. Just miss out on Hopkins. But then you can take Dillon out, and then maybe you want to plug in Armani Rodgers if Valdez-Scantling isn't able to come into the game. And now you have both the second and third wide receivers here paired with the quarterback, and then Aaron Jones, and you have Kyler Murray with his number one weapon in DeAndre Hopkins. Once you do a balanced approach, let's do Zach Ertz in here. Do Zach Ertz with Chris Kirk, Kyler Murray, Aaron Jones at captain. Gonna not be able to get to Rodgers, but let's plug in St. Brown. See how much money we have to work with. We have $900 left that we have to kind of get rid of. We will be maybe go from Ertz to Tonyan down to 46, and then probably will be able to upgrade from Chris Kirk. Well, only from Chris Kirk you can get to James Conner if you want to do that. You could leave $700 on the table. I think that is fine. So just based on the price tags on the Packers, it looks like I might have at least 3, maybe 4 Packers in my lineup just because they're so cheap. I don't know if Scantling will play or not. If he's out, that may look even better for like for Armani Rodgers at the bottom or for St. Brown at the bottom. So right now, I'll definitely be looking to get to Kyler Murray or like probably Aaron Jones. He's pretty affordable at the captain spot. Kyler Murray, Rodgers would be the top 3 weapons to look at, and then for Kyler Murray, compare him with almost anybody. They're all pretty good. If you want to get up to Hopkins, that's fine. If not, I like Chris Kirk's price tag at 72. Ertz and AJ Green as well. And then at the bottom, for Rodgers, we want to pair him with maybe Robert Tonyan at 46. And then or go down to like St. Brown at only $600. Opens up a lot at 6. It leaves you with almost $6,250 left for the rest of the 2 spots. So that's it for the DraftKings side. Let's jump over to Fanduel All right, so Fanduel, Kyler Murray 17K, Rodgers is 15K, and Aaron Jones is 12.5. First thing we'll see, if we plug in all three of those guys, you're left with 77.50. So that's still a good amount because you're going to be able to look to one of the wide receivers to pair with Rodgers. Maybe you want to go with Robert Tonyan at $8,000. Now you have 75 plus, or 75 exactly. You can plug in Rondell Moore at the same price tag. You do have St. Brown at $6,000, so I wanted to do that instead. Now you have $9,500. And for that, you can plug in Chase Edmonds. You can plug in Ertz. Plug in like Matt Prater if you want to do that. But I think this probably looks pretty good. On FanDuel, you might look at 3 Packers as well. Definitely Rodgers, definitely Aaron Jones, and then I kind of like pairing Rodgers with one of the cheap guys. Hope that your cheap receiver gets into the end zone, and then you're basically already paid off like a $6,000 salary. And then the Cardinals do have a number of guys that Murray can have success with. Like probably don't like Kirk that much at 11K. AJ Green is 10.5, but probably like Chase Edmonds a little bit cheaper, Zach Ertz a little bit cheaper. Still give you some upside there. You can just save $1,000 on the table if you wanted to play Ertz here, but I kind of like Edmonds. Edmonds is a roll, so something like that. But definitely looking at these top 3 dogs, I just don't see myself not having them. I'll be surprised if these 3 are not in the optimal lineup. So that's about it for the video. Thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight, and I'll see you all next time.